Welcome to this session. So, in this session, we'll be discussing on a new title called Threats. So that is Introduction to Threats in the Information Security. So, threats in the information security are the diverse and constantly evolving. So, some common threats include a malware, phishing, and social engineering, insider threats, and advanced persistent threats, DDoS attacks, ransomware, zero-day exploits, data breaches, IoT vulnerabilities, supply chain attacks, misconfiguration, and physical security threats. So, understanding these threats is essential for developing an effective security measures and proactive and protecting systems and data. So, now, the threats, some of the common threats we'll discuss one by one. So, the first one is malware. So, malware is a malicious software designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to the computer systems or data. So, this type of malware includes viruses, worms, trojans, ransomware, and spyware. Example is the WannaCry ransomware attack spread rapidly across the globe, encrypting files and demanding that is the ransom payments. So this is the one example. And the next one is phishing. So this phishing involves destructive emails, messages, or websites that trick individual into exposing sensitive information such as passwords, credit card numbers, or personal details. As an example, a user receives an email that appears to be from their bank asking them to verify their account by entering their credentials on a fake website. So the next is social engineering. This social engineering manipulates individuals to reveal confidential information or perform action that compromise security, often through the psychological manipulation or impersonation. As an example, an attacker calls an employee pretending to be from IT support and convince them to share their password. The next one is insider threats. So these are the threat posed by the individuals within an organization who misuse their access privileges or unknowingly or unknowingly facilitate the security breaches. Example, an employee with access to sensitive data intentionally leaks the confidentiality company information to a competitor. Next one is advanced persistent threats. We call it as APTs. APTs are sophisticated targeted attacks by the threat actors with specific objectives such as spying or data theft. So these attacks often involve extensive inspection and steadily infiltration long over a period. As an example, a nation state conducts a prolonged espionage campaign against the government agency. And the next one is DDoS attack and ransomware. So DDoS is nothing but it is a distributed denial of service attack. So it attacks overload servers, networks, or services with excessive traffic, disruption, or disabling access for legitimate users. As an example, an e-commerce website is taken offline during a major sale due to the coordinated DDoS attack. The next attack is ransomware. So it is a malicious software that encrypts data or block access to the computer system until a ransom is paid, typically in cryptocurrency. As an example for this, a hospital patient records are encrypted by ransomware and the attackers demand payment to restore the access. And the next attack could be a zero-day exploits and data breaches. When coming to the zero-day exploits, these are vulnerabilities in software or hardware that are unknown to the vendor and for which no patch or fix is available, leaving system exposed to the exploration by the attackers. As an example, hackers exploit a newly discovered vulnerabilities in a popular web browser before a security update is released. And the next vulnerability is the data breaches. A data breach is unauthorized access, disclosure, or a theft of sensitive information, including personal data, financial records, or intellectual property or trade secrets. As an example, a retail company suffers a data breach, exposing thousands of customers' credit card details. And next one is IoT vulnerabilities and supply chain attacks. So coming to these IoT vulnerabilities, so these are the security weakness in the connected devices such as smart home appliances, wearable technology, and industrial control system. Attackers exploit these vulnerabilities to gain access to the network or compromise data. Example, hackers access the company's network through a vulnerable smart thermostat. Is one of the example I could say. And coming to the next one is supply chain attack. Hackers target the vulnerabilities in the supply chain, including the third party vendors and suppliers, to compromise the security of the product or services. As an example, a malware is introduced into a software update from a trusted vendor, affecting all customers who install it. And the next one is misconfiguration and physical security threats. So, coming to the misconfiguration, improperly configured systems, networks, or cloud services can leave them vulnerable to exploit or unauthorized access. As an example, a cloud storage bucket is left publicly accessible, exposing a sensitive files to anyone on the internet. And the next one is physical security threats. So these are risks related to physical access to the devices, infrastructure, or data centers, including theft, tampering, or destruction of hardware. As an example, an intruder gains access to the server room and steals the hard drives containing a confidential data. So, to conclude this, a overview of common threats in the information security, and here we understand these threats is the first step to build the effective defense and protecting organization assets. So, this is the end of this lecture, and I'll be meeting you again in another topic. Thank you.